Hello. Well, that was behind me then. I think it was a bird. Welcome to Friday's Walkie Talkie. And it's quite windy out here, so I'm glad it's not raining, otherwise this wouldn't be happening. Over the comedy umbrella fiasco of last time. So this one we're going to do a bit of a chat about Wolfenstein. And then that'll sort of round up what I would call the id Software trilogy. Now obviously they've done more than that than just Wolfenstein, Doom and Quake, but that's what I'm going to do. We're just going to do that one and then this one, and then that'll be it. So yeah, I don't know whether I'll be out tomorrow, only because I think the weather on Sunday is going to be a bit bad. So on Sunday I'm going to play that by ear, but I might come out tomorrow and do it then. I can't. Actually, just thinking on. That's not happening tomorrow. Because I'm busy. So yeah, that's not going to happen. So yeah, hopefully the weather on Sunday won't be too bad. If it's raining but not windy, I'll be alright. So, but today it's quite windy. That has to be said. And quite chilly. Anyway. So I did deliver on my promise, and I started to play Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've had that for quite some time, and I actually installed it and started to play it. I've been quite enjoying it. It took a little while for me to get used to some of the things in it. It's not as forgiving as some other RPG games, I have to say. And I was a bit... there was one part of it where at the beginning you're trying to escape on horse, and I thought that was a little bit... you're trying to escape from your town that's being attacked. I did find that a little bit frustrating at times, but it was more really just figuring out the control system. It's not as conventional as you sort of Bethesda RPGs. Somebody put up a sign saying don't feed the cats, because apparently one of the cats has an allergic reaction to wet food, and so asking people not to leave food out for the cats. Oh, good luck with that. So yeah, what the hell was I talking about? Anyway, we'll crack on, get this one done, And like I say, yeah, it won't be one tomorrow, and I'll have to play Sunday by ear. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyhow, on to the end here. It's quite busy out here today. Anyway, I'll call it there, and I'll see you in the park. Alright, here we are in the park. A little bit later than usual, by about half an hour. Couldn't get going this morning. Found it a bit challenging. I was tired. Anyway, Wolfenstein. Great series of games. First came across it on a friend of mine's Apple Mac computer, strangely enough. And this was after I'd already played Doom. This was probably, I would say, around 1997. And it was Wolfenstein 3D. I can't remember if I actually said that. Yeah, it was Wolfenstein 3D. Now, there were Wolfenstein 1 and 2. I think that's what they were called. That was on the Commodore 64, probably other computers as well, but was on the Commodore 64 way back when. They were obviously a lot different. They weren't 3D first-person shooters. No, I didn't play them. I came to them later. But, yeah, Wolfenstein 3D, I would say it would be about 1997. I came across it while messing around on one of my friends' Apple Macs. And I remember thinking, I'd heard of it, but I never played it. And it was kind of, a fun curiosity, really, because, as I say, I'd already played Doom, and Doom was technically more sophisticated than Wolfenstein 3D. But it was interesting to play, and it was fun. Compared to Doom, it was probably quite a bit bare bones, but it was certainly fun to play. What was interesting about that game was, the hell is beeping the horn? God, Wazek. Anyway, yeah. I don't know. I think they modded it, or maybe it was patched in years later. There was no map, which meant sort of finding your way around it was, in the earlier levels, it was quite straightforward, but in the later levels, when they were a bit more complex, it was kind of easy to get lost. But that was part of the challenge of the games back then, But it was still great. Still a lot of fun. And it was quite a few years later before I actually got to play it, what I would call properly. And that was on the Xbox 360. They released it on there. Now, there was, I don't know, was it a mission pack or was it like a pseudo sequel or whatever? And that was called the Spear of Destiny. But anyway, I don't think that was on the 360 version. I think it was just the standard game. And I played it to death on there, played it through to completion. I had a lot of fun battling like all these sort of like Nazi zombies and like Mecha Hitler. I mean, it was just like pure sort of 90s first person fantasy shooter. It was great. I had so much fun playing it. And then I remember they released Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Now, I absolutely love this game. It was so good, so good. I really sort of delved into the sort of more sort of weird mythology, weird like Nazi mythology, all that kind of stuff. You know, you've got these, what's the chops? Oh, you know, like hybrid cyborg mechanized things. And then you've got these, you know, they're sort of floating around on an electrical field. And then you've got like this super soldiers. And you've got like, what's the other thing? Oh yeah, like the weird sort of undead skeletal dudes coming after you. It was like a whole mix-up of various bad guys and themes and stuff. But I just remember being blown away how good it looked as well. What a great looking game. Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Well, it still is. The design of it is awesome. Now, interestingly enough, on the consoles, you've actually got more content. I had it on PC originally, and then it came out on consoles with like extra levels in it, and they were brilliant. And I was like, oh, why don't they release this on the? Why don't they release that an update for PC with that content in? And I don't know whether they ever have done. I know the one I've got on PC, because I've got both the physical edition of it. That came in a black box with the Wolfenstein logo on the front. But yeah, then I also got it on the, I say when I got it on, I had it on PlayStation and Xbox. I had the extra content in. I think the PlayStation, when I played that, I think that did have some extra content in there. Now I don't know whether they've ever patched that into the PC version. That's another thing. Oh, by the way, I did check on Quake on Steam yesterday, just as a side note, what the other Quake games I got, and they were both multiplayer. I suspected they were. So yeah, pretty much as a single player entity, Quake finished with Quake 4, it would seem. Well, certainly what is available on Steam. So yeah, that's a bit sad really. And they've not updated Quake 4. So there you go, Night Dive. Got a job for you. Get Quake 4 updated. Get it sorted. Weave your magic like you did with Doom 3. Anyhow, back onto Wolfenstein. Yeah. What am I doing? The Return to Castle Wolfenstein, I say it was brilliant. Some really tough bits in it, but it was really good. And when you think about the fact that it came out on like the Xbox and then the PS2 and what have you, say, it still looks really good. Really good. I love that game. Love it to death. Spent many, many hours playing that through right to completion. I'm just trying to think now. What was the next one? You know, I think it was the one that came out, was it in 2009? On the Xbox 360 and PS3. I believe it did come out on PC. But it certainly came out on those two consoles. I had it on the Xbox 360. And it was superb. It really was good. But sadly, you can't get it these days. Now, there's actually no reason why you can't. Because, well, it was either id or Raven that did it. And it's published by Activision. Well, all that now is owned by Microsoft. So, there shouldn't be any issues with regards to the license for this game, because Microsoft basically own the whole shooting match. They own the lot. So there's no reason why that game can't come out, why it can't be re-released. So there's another one. Get on it. Get Night Dive to come in and do it for you guys. Get it sorted. That was superb. And again, that was very much in the style of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. You know, you got the whole sort of, oh, that wind. You got the whole sort of Nazi zombie thing, you know, the whole occult, you know. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. A really, really good game. And there's no reason now why that can't come out. That can't be re-released. You know. I mean, it certainly wouldn't be an issue for the Xbox because of backwards compatibility. They have that whole thing going on. So there's no reason why they can't do that. And I'm sure it wouldn't take much to get it to work on PC either. But that was a great game. Really good. Very, very enjoyable. And then, sort of Wolfenstein, like Doom 2016, Wolfenstein went through something of a reinvention, a reboot. And it was brilliant. Absolutely superb. It was a bit more story based. Oh, sorry, there was more story to it. It wasn't like it was, you know, story based. It just had more of a backstory, sort of fleshed things out a little bit. It was really violent, like you would want from your Wolfenstein type game. The look was superb. And this was done by Machine Games. And I really like it. It was a really Really good game. I had a tremendous amount of fun playing through that and playing it all the way through to completion. The weapons were great in it. You know, that's one thing that often gets overlooked. I know often is overlooked in some first-person shooters are the weapons. The weapons in Wolfenstein, New Order, it was called. Really substantial. Really had a like weight to them. You know, so when you were firing the guns, when you're in combat and what have you, it was like a really good sense of being in sort of heavy combat. It was great. Absolutely loved it. I think the graphics were superb. There's some real tense and horrific moments in it. You know, they didn't hold back. And I say, like, it had quite a much more evolved storyline, which was really good. It was really good. Oh, a bit of a tree. So when Machine Games announced that they were going to do a sequel, I was really excited by that. I remember like eagerly anticipating it. And it came out and, you know, a lot of fanfare. And when, you know, overall gameplay wise, really enjoyed it. But the story, well, the story and the settings were fine. It was characters. There were a number of really annoying characters in the game. And it went from being, it just went from being a first-person shooter to having some of the most, I can't describe. It was just, it annoyed me. Like so it was a select number of characters in the game when we were speaking to them. It's just like, Blazkowicz would have just put his fist through their head. Like, you as the player, because all right, you're playing as Blazkowicz, but you're still the player. It's still through your eyes. And these people are supposed to be on your side. And they're openly hostile to you. And you just like, all the way through it, I was just like, these people need a knuckle sandwich. I've said it before, I don't like overly chatty games. Especially when the NPCs that are talking to you are talking out of their arse. And that happens an awful lot in this game. And for the life of me, I cannot get why that was happening. Why the developers thought that this, I mean, it's just annoying the player. You're just annoying the player. And there was many times playing that game, I was just getting angry. And I'm like, this shouldn't be happening. I should be enjoying the hell out of this game, like I did the previous one. And it took me quite a while to get through it. I played through it and finished it because I had to keep stopping because I was getting mad. I was just like, you have to talk to these people and you get given missions and they like come along and you're a captain. You're a captain in the US Army, you're military. It's a military operation. and you're getting verbally dressed down by some, civilian. And I'm like, hell no, I wouldn't be having that. If that was me, that person would be told to sit down and shut up. And it's with a number of characters in the game. It's like, what the hell is going on? Like, you are literally the guy going out there, putting your ass on the line. You're doing the fighting. And you're just getting taught to like you're a piece of shit by these various NPCs. It's like every time a new one come along, I was like, oh my God, like what verbal diarrhea is going to come out of their mouths now? It's like, there was a number of them. I mean, if it was just one character, you could say, okay, that's the personality of that character, fair enough. But it was a number of them. And I started to think, are machine games actually like BJ Blazkowicz? Do they actually like this guy? Like, do they actually like the Wolfenstein games? What is this? And like I say, the gameplay is great. I love the gameplay. I love actually playing the game. I like. But the cutscenes can burn in hell for me. I just found it ridiculous. And I just found it completely out of order. If they do another one, I hope they will have learned a lesson from that. Like I say, I don't mind having the odd character, but holy crap. Like, that game was actively annoying me. And normally that should be through frustration, in doing a bit of a game, like a level or something. Oh, this is like really tough and it's annoying me. It should be that. It shouldn't be like your interactions with NPCs that are supposed to be on your side. I was like, the goddamn enemies speak to you better than like the psychotic woman. Like, she's like one of the sort of senior female Nazi officers that was in the first game. Like, she's disfigured in this game. It's like she speaks to him better than his bloody allies do. I kept thinking, did they get the dialogue? Did they get the script mixed up or something? So I still recommend playing it, because the gameplay is fantastic. I mean, machine games really know how to make a top-notch first-person shooter. And there's a lot of really, really good stuff in the game. But I would just recommend you get to the cutscenes. If you can skip them, skip them. Skip through it. It'll save yourself a whole lot of stress. I've played through it twice. I played through it, I think I had it on the PS4. And then I got it on PC. And on PC, I think you can skip the dialogue. I certainly remember probably repeatedly hitting the space bar or the escape button. Or whatever, clicking on the mouse button repeatedly. But yeah, I would recommend that just for your own sanity. I think what they were trying to do was this weird thing where it's like, let's deconstruct the hero. Why? How about let's not? How about that? How about we just Leave things as they were. How about that? How about we don't mess about with our heroic characters? Because it's a video game. And the thing is, you are playing as that character. And I've always said the more dialogue you put into these type of games, the more you run the risk of ruining it. Just give me the mission and let me get on with it. That's all I need. You know? That's what is wonderful about the Half-Life games. You get the mission, minimal dialogue, Gordon Freeman never speaks, and you just go and get on with it. It's like the more you try to explain something, the greater your risk is of messing it up. You see that in films when they do prequels or let's tell this story of how this happened, and it always ends up backfiring on them. Because what happens is you just go down a path that a lot of people don't like. And it was a shame. There's so much good stuff in Wolfenstein 2, New Colossus. But yeah, there's just a handful of NPCs in that game. That needed to take a long walk off a short cliff. What came after that was like a spin-off. Wolfenstein, was it Youngblood? Which was quite a bit different. You play as Blazkowicz's daughters, of course. Whatever. But the gameplay mechanics itself were quite different in the sense that you weren't able to you weren't able to play as Blazkowicz. You play you could choose one of the two daughters, or you can play it co-op. But the mechanics were a little bit different. It felt a little bit more RPG-like, to be honest. Your enemies have got health bars and stuff like that. It was alright. But I didn't really enjoy it anywhere near as much as the other two Wolfenstein games. I didn't really understand the point of it, to be honest. It just seemed like a pointless. I would have much rather them have done some more content for the main game, to be honest, than that. And then I think they did some VR thing which I'd never played. And I think that takes us up to date with it. Overall, it's a great series. And as I say, I do like Wolfenstein 2, but holy crap. NPCs, shut up. The gums flapping. Dead annoying. I was strange because the NPCs in the New Order were pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, they were pretty good. So, whether it, like I say, I know these companies, they have a reason for it, but it's when you have to play it and you're the character and you're having to deal with people being a gobshite, it winds you up. And that's not just, there's been other games that have done the same. I'm like, oh my God, will you shut up? Just let me get on with it. I would be just as happy if these NPCs didn't say anything and they just had everything typed up on a piece of paper and handed it to me. I would much prefer that. But yeah. So yeah, overall it's a great series. Great series of games. I think it was 2009 and it was just called Wolfenstein, if I remember rightly. I wish they'd get that one out. It was a really good game. Really good. I wish they'd put that one out. Do you know, I don't know, but I'm sure I heard that they were working on another one. So if they are, I do hope that they don't have all of this, you know, NPCs gobbing off at you all the time. I hope they cut back on that. You know, I'd be happy if they sort of went back to the Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Actually, just thinking, wouldn't it be great if they were remastering the 2009 one? They were actually remastering that one. That's why it's not out. Probably not, but that would be great. That, and they could do Return to Castle as well. You know, have it as a double release would be awesome. I love holding on to hope like that. It probably won't happen, but it would be fantastic if it did. It really would. But yeah, aside for that, oh Christ, bloody toggle on my hood's hanging off my microphone again. I don't know why it does that. I suppose it's got blown on there, but I hope it hasn't buggered up the audio. There's not a lot I can do about it. With the wind, my lapel mic has a windshield on it, so it's as good as it gets audio-wise in these type of conditions. Whoa. But yeah, definitely check them out. You know, they're frequently on sale on Steam. So if you've not got them, you know, whack them on a wish list if you want to play them. Because like I say, they are frequently on sale. And I don't think they're that expensive outside of the sale now either. So they're well worth checking out because they are great games. And my personal favourite was Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I just think that had the right balance, you know, like that sort of occult, weird science tech stuff, you know. It had the right balance of that. It was a great game. Really was. So, I think that pretty much wraps up the Wolfenstein and what I would say the sort of triumvirate of id games. You know, Doom, Wolfenstein being the sort of, the sort of like main original sources. Or would you say like Wolfenstein was the granddaddy, Doom was the daddy? You know. And then you got Quake, which again, you know, in of itself is just awesome. Is that a triumvirate of first-person shooters that proper legendary? And yeah, I love them. As a little side note, it's also worth another id game was Rage. There's a couple of them, Rage 1 and 2. I think Rage 2, I don't know whether id programmed that. It might not have been. It might have been I think it was another team, but I enjoyed it anyway. It kind of got a bit indifferent when it was released. But I think it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Rage, I love. But they're well worth checking out as well. And again, that's another couple of games. They're not expensive, but they do tend to find themselves in various sales when they come out quite often. So, you know, it's not much of a gamble to play them games. Holy mother of God. Right, I think it might be time to bail out here because I'm just looking at that sky and that sky doesn't look happy. It looks rain-filled. I narrowly missed it the other day. It was actually just starting to come down just as I got in the house. So I'm trusting my senses out here. They seem to serve me well. Certainly better than the bloody weather app on my phone, which says no rain today. But it did say wind, I'll give it that. But yeah. So go check them. Bloody hell, my cat nearly blew off then. Go and check them games. Especially if you're in a sale. Because if you're in a sale and you're picking them up for like, I don't know, £5, $5, it's not much of a risk. And they really are good. Oh, I'm walking right into that wind now. Right into it like a headwind. Lovely. I was probably playing havoc with the microphone. Isn't it weird? Like up there, it doesn't look that bad. But down on the surface, it is. So, I don't know what's going to happen this weekend with regards to videos. Christ almighty. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with regards to videos. I'll have to play it by ear. But yeah, I'll see what happens. See what I can do. But yeah, I'll play it by ear. Hopefully I can get something out. Because I'd like to go out tomorrow because I missed on Tuesday. But a lot's just going to depend on a few other factors. But I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If I don't get anything out, I hope you all have a really good weekend. Yeah. You tell them, Crow. Yeah. Have a good one. And I'm going to head off home. So, catch you all later, guys. As I say, have a great weekend if I don't get out. And yeah, I'll catch you all later. So, so long.